Well, hello there, immunologists. Jack here to bring you another video. Today we're going to be talking about tetanus, specifically the tetanus vaccine. Many of us have unpleasant recollections of the tetanus injection. Between the ages of 13 and 16, most of us, if not all of us, should have received this injection. However, we remember it being more painful than most other immunizations. Why is this the case? In actuality, most of us received our first tetanus injection when we were toddlers in the form of a diphtheria pertussis cocktail injection, which provided our first wave of immunization against the tetanus bacteria. When we are between the ages of 13 and 16, we get essentially a booster, which kind of rekindles the immune system's response and allows us to create new antibodies against a foreign invader. There are a couple factors that play into the reasons why the tetanus vaccine can be perceived as more painful than others. One being the relative acidity of the injection itself, and two, the rapid response time of the human immune system to this injection. Let's discuss the bacterium that's responsible for causing the tetanus disease, and that is Clostridium tetani. Clostridium tetani is a relatively common bacteria found in dirt and soil samples. However, there are not very many cases of tetanus disease often every year in the United States. Why is that the case? Well, it turns out that Clostridium tetani only causes infections in deep puncture wounds and very rarely on more minuscule punctures. And this has to do with the fact that Clostridium tetani is an anaerobic pathogen, meaning that aerobic conditions like the surface of skin or punctures that are closer to the surface of skin are less likely to cause disease, and specifically tetanus. If you are an unlucky individual who A, did not get the vaccine as a child, and B, did not get your subsequent boosters throughout your young adulthood, then you might happen to stumble upon the tetanus disease via the infection of Clostridium tetani. What causes tetanus from the Clostridium tetani bacteria? It actually happens to do with something very similar to botulinum bacteria or botulism, and those bacteria presenting toxins. In a similar manner, Clostridium tetani also has toxins of its own. The toxins found in the Clostridium botulinum bacteria are known as neurotoxins, meaning that they're going to attack neuro and muscular systems in the human body. Specifically, tetanus is known to cause lockjaw, meaning that your muscles in your jaw are going to be a lot stiffer and less reactive to impulse or stimulus that is normally characterized by non-infected individuals. The toxin produced by the Clostridium tetani bacterium is going to have a high affinity for the presynaptic vesicles found in the neuromuscular system of the human body. As a neurotoxin, the Clostridium tetani bacteria toxin is going to travel through the central nervous system, where it is eventually going to degrade VAMPs or VAMPs, vesicular synaptic membrane protein. Neuro and motor neuron function of the human nervous and muscular system begin to function less and less, and thus you get the most common example of tetanus infection would be the lockjaw. For the mechanism of action of the tetanus vaccine, it's actually rather simple. Vaccine producers have purified and isolated the toxin produced by the Clostridium tetani bacteria. This purified version of the toxoid antigen is now not dangerous to human immune cells, and then they can use this artificial adaptive immunity to combat the presence of actual live toxins from Clostridium bacteria infections in the future if an individual does get infected. Thanks for watching my second video today. Now it's time to go help Isabella with hers.